What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I have the one and only Drew Gibson, and we're out here. There can absolutely only be one, thankfully. We're out here at Peter Pan Park. We did a front nine on Drew's channel. It is linked in the description down below. We just kind of walked and talked, and now the tables have turned.
How the turntables.
And I'm going to ask him some questions while we play, so let's get it.
Sweet, let's get right into it.
That'll never work.
That'll never work. Stupid shot.
Terrible shot. That's how you do it, Drew. Dang it! I tried to knock yours out of the air. Did not work.
You should have tried to knock it out of the chains, not the air.
That's true. You've been sponsored by a lot of different manufacturers. Innova?
Yep.
Dynamic?
Yep.
What am I missing?
That's it.
Okay, that's not a lot. That's a couple. But what are you doing now? I know you got Finish Line.
Yeah.
You kind of have a mixed bag in a way. So talk to the people about what you've done in the past.
So my main sponsor is Infinite Discs. So after I was Innova for 7 years, DD for 2, then back to Innova for 2 years.
2 of the best years of his life.
Yes, for sure. No questions asked. And then, so after I went Innova, I just saw opportunity to be open bag. Felberg had done it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was like really executing on like the opportunities that well. And so I just saw the door and I was like, well, at the time, you know, Innova wasn't really paying people much money.
Nobody was.
Yeah, nobody was. And then I just liked the Innova disc the best at the time. So I was like, well, how can I make more and still throw this that I love? Well, Infinite's manufactured by Innova. So I was able to use Innova and Infinite, and then it opened doors for me to have collaborations with EV7 for putters and, you know, use Discraft discs and do whatever. So I felt like I was able to build my best bag while still making like the most money that was on the table at the time.
Yep.
Now could I possibly go to a manufacturer and, you know, get an equal pay and throw one set of discs? Sure, probably, because the sport has grown to that point.
It has, but in the same breath, how much better is it to be able to throw whatever you want, have the option to throw? You know, let's say this company makes the best mids. I'm going to throw them. They make the best putters. I'm going to throw them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you have more options.
MVP has never paid me $1. I've done disc reviews. I've done all types of stuff with them.
Come on, MVP.
Never paid me anything. But I think that their approach putters are the best approach putters. So
pay the man.
So I use them because I feel like it gives me the best chance to play well.
Sure.
And so, of course, like, you know, when you're on tour, you're just trying to play well. So for me, it's like I use some stuff that I don't get paid to endorse or use because I just think it's the best product on the market, which opens a door for me, just like your MD3, right? If you give me that and I can use it, it's like I don't have to just like hang on my wall and be like, oh, I like Eric, here's his disc. It's like I can actually like put it in my bag and use it. So it's kind of cool to be free. And also, like, I lose my most overstable disc, right? And, you know, at Champions Landing. I can just be like, hey, do you have something insanely overstable?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be from my sponsor. I can just, for the week, get through with the stiletto or whatever it might be and make it through the week. So
that's great. Now, it does have the other side of it, too, where you have way too many options.
Yes.
Way too many options.
Yeah.
So you're not like, I'm going to learn these discs and that's it. Now you've got to learn every disc.
Yeah.
So that could be double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, so what happens is you end up like, oh, I'm going to try the Truth, I'm going to try the Rock, I'm going to try the Buzz, I'm going to try all these best-selling mid-ranges, and then you realize, like, they all probably fly the same. Then it's like, okay,
which one feels the best?
And then in the wind, what does it do? Like, does this one skip and this one doesn't? You know, it like becomes like, but it's more of a mathematical equation, like you said, to where it's like, there's probably 40 plus discs in the disc golf market that fly like a Firebird.
Yeah.
Whether it's a little more stable, a little less stable, but it's like,
sure.
Does it skip? How does it feel in your hand? Is it flat? Is it domey? Like, but it's like, there's so many companies that make a Felon type disc that it's like, how do I now pick? And so thankfully Infinite Disc makes the Scepter, which is
with a lot of field work. That's how.
Yeah, but it's like it definitely becomes difficult at times to compartmentalize what disc to use because like if you're on DD, you just have like the Convict or whatever, and you're like, okay, this is my disc
that disc
for this.
Hasn't been good ever, ever. So,
I used to use it. I had a blue one.
I know. Let's lose some discs on this.
That was my problem, I think.
That was your problem.
How much room is on this little strip here?
About 20 feet.
Nice. Who designed this place?
I did. It's job security. People throw discs, they lose them, they gotta go buy them.
Yeah. I need my Convict for this hole.
That is so good. For me, because you lost a disc.
What the heck?
I mean, that's retrievable.
What the frick, man?
That's what I always do on this hole. I always bring a disc to throw, kind of like whatever happens, to try to ace it every time.
Do you think you have any more of those?
Of these?
Yeah.
Not like with me, but I have tons of these.
Oh, okay. That's why you're willing to lose it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm also confident that I'm not going to lose it.
You're going to ching it.
Yeah. See? Not going to lose it. See?
There's one thing in the way and you hit two things.
That's right. Facts. Told you I wasn't going to lose it.
You're right.
All day.
Oh my gosh.
All day.
That's the world champion you talking right there.
No, that's just when we hit record on my channel. I play well.
Oh.
Not yours.
Dang it. Oh, I found
Oh,
mine.
it's right there. Perfect.
Best day of my life.
You have all of these discs in your bag. You mentioned on the last hole that you think MVP has the best, was it approach putters?
Yeah.
So what makes you decide that MVP is my putter? You said they don't pay you anything.
Yeah.
Is it just because it's what makes you the best player?
Yeah, so I just think that like in the wind, even like the understable watt, it fights the wind still. I feel like most of the time I ever had like an understable putter and I like kind of throwing that like hyzer flip up shot. As soon as it got windy, I had to use a different disc. For the watt, for example, like just kind of fight, it go through the headwind and still almost fly the same. Might not go as far, of course, but it holds its like characteristic where I feel like some other, maybe like a Warden or a Luna for sure, it gets that little wobble and then just goes right.
High speed wobble.
So those discs, I don't know if it's the technology or what, but they seem to just fight the wind a little better.
Okay.
And when like a throwing putter for me, since I have that shot a lot, just it being more wind resistant without having to use like a zone where it's super overstable.
Super beefy where you're just forcing everything out.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Kale used to throw that like pink zone, you know, and like flex at every hole.
Oh, yeah, I remember
it's like,
that.
It's like, I don't really like that shot. So for me, it's like,
I've never liked that shot. Like let me look, why do you think I put my name on the most neutral flying discs in the world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, well, two reasons. One, anybody can throw it.
Yeah.
And anybody should throw it.
Yeah.
And two, it's easier on your body.
yeah, you don't have to like that shot I threw on like the second Monkey Island hole. I like flexed it. And it's like, there's a time and a place for that. Like I can throw the shot, but like I'd rather just throw a little like hyzer flip if possible.
Yes.
You know, so I think that like discs like that, it just, I tested them all. I've played the game for a long time. I've thrown a lot of throwing putters, and just when it came time to like make my bag this year, those were what was flying the best, and kind of just stuck with it.
I like it. I respect it.
I respect you.
Aw.
Oh.
And that's why you throw neutral flying discs.
That was a very good throw. Oh, what a generous kick.
What a lovely kick. See, you too can throw an EMAC Truth, just like Drew did right there.
Yeah, make sure to go to dynamicdisc.org and get your truth.
So, Drew, question for you.
Answer.
We are in Emporia, Kansas, right now.
That's where
The
we are?
Champions Cup just happened. The DDO is happening. Your name is not on the list. Tell everybody what you're doing here, what's going on, health, what's going on with your health, those kind of things.
So, played Champions Cup, and I have been kind of struggling the last first bit of this tour, and played a lot of really good rounds, done a lot of really good shots, but never really turned it into a score. And my arm's kind of been pretty tired by the end of the day. It doesn't hurt, but like I could tell on my putts and my throws, like 16, 17, 18 has been kind of tired. And so I told myself, hey, if I don't play well at Champions Cup, I'm gonna just go home and use this as a week off.
R&R.
And
Yep.
get my disc back in order, like you were talking about. You know, refigure out some of my slots in my bag, and go home and spend some time with the girlfriend and the dog, and take a little break. But I came to Emporia to film with Jake Wolf, film
Nice.
with you, maybe do something with Rusco, and it was kind of on the way home. So I figured I'd never get to hang out with you much,
Yeah.
never get to see you and spend time. So figured make a trip. But yeah, I'm just trying to be as healthy as possible.
I love that.
You know, disc golf is, I mean, you're seeing more, Macbeth, Simon, Calvin, everyone's having injuries these days, and whether that's due to the courses being longer or harder,
It's 100% due to the
you know,
courses
or
being
just
longer.
how much people have to practice to be at this level, you know, whatever it is, people are hurt.
Yeah.
And so I want to go into the end of the year, like having a bad start is one thing, but having a bad start, middle, and end is a problem. So I'm trying to change something in order to be able to get back on the course and be confident and at least start like being in the top 20 again. And
Right, and it's
you know.
early too in the season. It's April still, right? So it's
Yeah.
still super early in the season, so there's plenty of opportunity in the future, and I mean, we've only had one major this year, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people remember, how you finish. USDC Pro
Absolutely.
Tour Finals, the last couple events of the year. I think that really is important when it comes to like your season and how you view it. Like you're going into the off season, like the year that I almost won USDC, then almost won Pro Tour Finals, I came back and won Vegas the first event of the year. But my confidence was so high going into the off season
Absolutely.
that I was just like riding that.
Yep.
Now this off season, I had surgery on my arm, was out for 9 months, barely able to practice. Going to Waco, I'm like, well,
Here goes.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like the confidence wasn't there. To where, like I said, the year previous, I had all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
So
no, I can relate to
you
that
know.
because when I won Players Cup in 2008, I won Vegas in 2009.
Yeah, you
first
just-
event of the year.
yeah.
So I get that 100%. That momentum does carry even through the off season.
yeah, and it's like you're just practicing putting, and you're like, man, the last couple events I played, I was the man. And it's like easier to miss 10 in a row and be like, oh well, it's just missing. It's like when you've had a bad stretch and then you miss 10 in a row, you're like, should I quit?
Yeah.
You're
Should
like,
I-
well,
should
why
I be
is this-
done?
It's like, why is this so difficult? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to use this. I was gonna take next week off anyways, the off week. So I figured have 2 weeks, little reset, enjoy some family time, and still making some content and still doing some stuff. But
Come back swinging.
I just wanted to try to give myself a chance to recoup and not play the last 3 holes of every single round with a little bit of arm.
Understand that for
Arm
sure.
pain.
Getting old, man. He's old now.
I'm getting there.
I did not flip that even in the least. Hey, you can't scramble and have a hell of a par save if you don't shank the drive.
Yeah, you got to. Scrambles are set up by bad shots. That's like the best stat in the world. I'd say I'm 100% scramble rate.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
well,
means you suck at driving.
It's like, huh? That's an interesting thing to be really good at. Because I scramble and I think I just bogey every time.
Okay, what disc is this right here? What disc?
Eagle.
Eagle. On a 391-foot uphill hole, throwing it like 70% power is what it looked like.
Barely. Yeah.
That's why I don't tour anymore.
Do you have a disc that's like an Eagle? Or like just a stable? Do you have a
Here,
convict?
throw this one. I do not have a convict ever.
Supreme.
That's an evader.
Okay. Oh, I read the wrong.
That's an EMAC True stamp,
Oh,
so don't
okay.
read the stamp.
Stable? What's the evader?
It's straight to stay. It's like an eagle.
Okay.
It's like a brand new eagle. Yeah, I
Oh my.
also throw it on this hole and almost ace.
Why did it not go in the chains?
Game's easy.
Too easy.
Talk about, so you're you're in this unique touring decade, I guess is what I'll say, right? Because you've been on the road for a while. 2014 was the year Patrick Brown took you on the road.
Yep,
Is that
yep.
right? What is the difference? I know the difference between now and then and even 10 years before that, but what's the difference between the first year you went on the road and today?
I think the difference is like, you get 15th at a pro tour, which was then a national tour, and you might get $1,000 depending on the tournament. Back then, I remember getting 15th, and you get $350.
Pretty
so I think
bad.
just
Pretty good. You got almost your money back.
I think just like the sustainability, of like being able to not. When I first went on tour, I was like, okay, I have to win or else I lose money every week. Now, I mean, if you're a Calvin Heimberg, you get top 5, top 10 every week. You're making a pretty healthy amount of money,
Yep.
and you don't have to be a habitual winner. So I think that my view of it is like at one point it was like either you won or you sold a lot of product or you didn't make it. Now I think it's like you win, you get top 20, or you sell a lot of product or you don't make it. There's like another avenue there that all the avenues are bigger. There's more people buying discs, there's more people watching content, there's more people, there's more money in the sport. So
More opportunity.
players are some people are probably getting overpaid, some underpaid, but there's more money as a whole. And then when I was on Innova 2014, I was on tour full time. Didn't make a penny from Innova. I didn't have a signature disc and I didn't have a salary. So, I got my 50.
You got frisbees.
I got my 50 discs, but like, there was no commitment from them to sponsor me. Now, most players that are on tour get more than something. They get, if they don't get a paycheck, they get an RV.
Or the signature disc with
Yeah.
royalties
Yeah,
on
option
it,
to
right?
make money,
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different dynamic than what it was before. But I don't know. I mean, I think that the sport obviously is going in the right direction, and hopefully it can continue to.
Has it stalled? Do you think it's stalled?
We're going this way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
we've
since-
gone and then but we can reach that peak again.
Well, I think that's like what I asked you on my channel. Like, well, how do we get another bump? Because
Another global pandemic.
we had Brody and the
what we
pandemic
want.
at the same time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
which obviously, whatever they think about him and I are not very close, but like he does have a lot of reach.
Really?
He does have a lot of like pull, you know, and he gets
does.
people interested in the things he's doing. So having him and the pandemic at the same time was like pretty incredible because you have one of the people that can reach the most people in a time where everyone's watching stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so how do we recreate that? Because I read a number the other day, don't remember where, that the disc golf as a whole, like ticket sales, disc sales, like all that's down like 60% from like peak COVID time.
Which makes sense.
So still up from previous, I'm sure, but
Still on that growth, but not as much as it was
Yeah,
in
it's like-
2020, 2021.
you couldn't keep a disc in stock. You couldn't, you know, if you had a product.
Warehouses were empty.
Yeah, it sold,
Yeah.
like you post a YouTube video, it has 10,000 views in the first day, you know, because everyone's at home. Can't do anything. They're looking for entertainment. So asking you now, how do you think we find that next? Do you think it's Nike buying House of Discs? Do you think it's like, what is the next thing? You know, LeBron James starts tweeting about disc golf. Like, what is the thing that gets people?
Yeah. I don't know if it's LeBron because I know Patrick Mahomes tweeted, or it was an Instagram reel about, you know, name these sports or rank these blind sports, right?
Okay.
And he put disc golf at number 2.
Really?
Yeah, and he said people are sleeping on disc golf. So if someone of Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
can't, you know,
Yeah.
push that through, I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's celebrities in the game.
Okay.
I don't think it's personally any of that. I think it's, like I said on your channel, corporate sponsorship. And I'm not talking House of Discs corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
I'm talking, like you said, a Nike.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even a Nike, because Nike doesn't care about disc golf.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it would just be a money.
They don't care about it. They're not going to make money on it. I'm talking about these smaller corporate, you know, Dolly Madison.
Yeah.
You know, things like that, Johnsonville, like those type of companies could come into the sport and drop $100,000 at an event that's a drop in the bucket, and that gets more eyeballs on it. It gets more kids saying, "I can be a disc golfer. I
Yeah.
can play for a living."
Well, I think that's the thing. I mean, right? Like a kid, you were a gymnast.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that point, people were probably making some money being a gymnast. So when you were like being very good at it, you're like, oh, this is a thing I could do and like maybe make a living at.
Mm-hmm.
To disc golf, until a couple years ago, I don't think anyone looked at that and was like, hey, you need to go practice your disc golf putting today.
Right.
You know, because so you can make a living when you're an adult. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, people golf and
Especially not back then.
play baseball and do all types of stuff. Like, hey, like if you get really good at this, like you could be in the MLB. Like you could make up 300 million.
I'm 5 foot and nothing. I'm not making anything.
You know, but it's like in disc golf, it's like, I think just now it's became like, hey, you could do this instead of like become a doctor. And if you're
Yeah,
really good like
yeah.
Calvin, you might, you know,
Do
be
both.
able to do both.
yeah, exactly.
But, you know, I think
exactly
that
right.
it's
No, that makes a great
You know,
point.
I think it's finally getting to the point where like people are promoting their kids to become better at disc golf.
Yep.
Because there's a future in it versus the other one of just like, oh, hey, I'm a disc golfer and I love it, so I'm going to go on tour and lose money.
Yep. Did
Be
it go
honest. Have you ever seen a shot that good?
in? I've never seen a shot like that in my life.
Gosh. Not surprised.
Never.
Get with the times, bro.
I know. We're even playing the short tee.
I think we need to move up a little bit.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That was a full flexor I threw.
That was
there.
a full power shot. Just like that one.
Ching. Oh my gosh. You are a world champion. I don't care what they say. Dude, best catching basket in the world.
All time. You heard it here first.
Gosh dang.
Oh, he threw it hard. He threw it hard right into the river. Listen.
Oh, it hit a tree.
Sweet. Good tree.
It flew good, but I thought it was going to be a little more stable than that.
Nah, dude.
Nah, dude.
Remember, it's my discs.
Oh,
All right, Drew. You talked about taking some time off over the next couple of weeks to gear up for the next event kind of thing.
yeah.
As I kick your stand here. Tell me, like, what does your tour schedule look like? If you're healthy, how many events are you wanting to play, and what event do you want to win this year?
So, I'm like a USCDC like snob. Like that's like my favorite tournament. I feel like we get treated the best there, like as athletes, and you know they make a big effort to like care about the player. I feel like, and I think that that's the tournament. Like if someone said, hey, you can only win one more tournament the rest of your career, which one would it be? I would pick USCDC. And
Really?
of course, that's
Okay.
like a high. Like maybe I should stick to like a C tier or something, but but I don't know. I
Your
just
expectations are high.
yeah, but I love that event. That's always like that week. I don't know. I feel like I get a different feeling in like my blood almost. You know, like I feel like some tournaments mean more to some people than others. I think that's a tournament that like gets me out of bed the most. You know, makes me like I think about that tournament when I'm playing other tournaments. I'm like, okay, USDGC, like, it keeps me, like, I guess maybe even focused during the season when stuff's happening that's not the best. You know, I'm able to be like, okay, well, if I just keep plugging along, hopefully this will all click at USDGC. That's kind of what I'm thinking this week. Or like after this start I've had as well, it's like, well, nothing bad has happened to me. I'm not hurt. So hopefully, like, missing out on USDGC last year was like a devastating thing for me because I just love that event so much. So hopefully I'm able to play the rest of the tournaments. I'm not going to Europe, but I signed up for 3 ATs. Like I'm playing Kansas City Wide Open and a couple other tournaments during that stretch. And so hopefully I can play pretty much every weekend until the end of the season, remaining healthy, and hopefully USDGC I'll get last place every tournament to win USDGC this year. So hopefully we're able to do that.
Good answer.
Wow.
That's short, but
How far is this hole?
it is roughly 327 uphill.
Playing 620.
Playing 837 feet.
If I birdie this, will you take me fishing today?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you ace it,
Dude, come on.
you're better than this.
Okay.
Do you see that bird come flying through?
I aced it.
Please do. Oh! It was so short, dude. You've been on the road long enough. Name your top 4 guys to play with.
Macbeth, Lazat, Eagle.
That's a good card right there.
That's usually where I stop because it's like it makes a 4-person card.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I'd-
we're playing fivesomes this year because of the rain delay and
I'd like to play with like a old school player, like
okay.
maybe like a Doss or you or somebody. Like I enjoy like the heritage of the sport,
Yeah.
so I think it's always fun to play with people who were very successful in like the previous generation.
Right.
Even like a Climo or something like that would have to be like my 5-some.
That's cool. I like that. Game's easy.
Dude, best player in the world still?
I should have never quit touring.
What was your best ranking ever? Were you ever ranked world number 1?
Not one. I think 3.
Okay.
3rd in the world was the best. And then I won worlds and dropped to 5. So, yeah, you tell me.
You tell me. I'll tell you that's bull.
Thank you.
Oh, how about that? How's that for a skip?
Oh, it's so good. Watch it. Skip off the branch.
Gosh,
Almost did.
Dang it.
Was that eagle again?
No, that's a scepter.
Scepter. Infinite.
Yep.
Goes so deep in those woods. Maybe. Might be on the edge.
Go so deep in those woods. So deep into those woods.
So deep into those woods, it's in the water. Watt is good.
Well, it's good for a birdie, but
You know, what is good? Like
we
that.
wanted the ace.
We did want the ace. It's probably the graffiti on this tee pad that...
Why?
We don't like ace runs.
Yeah,
We just like birdies.
that's stupid. That thing used to like just come back. Now it just.
Now, all right, Drew, this is hole 18. Last question for you.
Okay.
What are your top 5 courses that are not on tour?
Oh, dude, I don't even know. Shady Oak's the course that I grew up on. I really enjoy. It's like a pretty tight wooded. You've probably played there.
I played there.
St. Patrick's
I
Classic.
played that tournament twice.
Yeah, you probably won 20 times.
Never.
So that course I like it just because
Josh
it's
Anton
like
plays
my
there.
home course. Then like Daniel Bowe down in San Diego. Have you played there? Has like that huge snake that
Nope.
goes through the fairway.
Oh, yeah. I have played there.
Pretty cool course. Then like De La Viega. I mean, it's not on
yeah.
tour. That's a cool course.
It was once.
Pinto Lake, where they played the Worlds there,
Pinto.
is a pretty good course.
These are all California courses.
Well, the only other courses I play are on tour.
And then Peter Pan Park.
Peter Pan Park,
Yeah, there you
designed by Eric McCabe, best course designer in the world.
Hey. Birdies.
If they made it this far in the video, they deserve to watch on a sideways camera anyway.
That's a fact. So get on the short side, though.
Dude, come on.
thank you. For once in my life, I'm going to be the tall guy, although we're leaning. Either way, Drew, this was Drew's idea. He hit me up yesterday to come out and film with him. As I mentioned earlier, we did a front nine on his channel. Link is down in the description. You can follow Drew where?
Instagram, Drew_Gibson, and then subscribe to my YouTube. Pretty sure the username is the same thing.
Cool. If not, I'll have it linked, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much. Good luck to Drew along the way. Make sure that you purchase some EMAC Truths and EMAC Judges from Infinite because he sent you guys there.
Yeah, use code DrewGibson10 to save yourself 10% off at Infinite.
Boom.
There you go.
We
you support Eric, you support me, support the people that support me.
Love it. Thanks,
Dude.
guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys. Thank you guys.